Hey guys, what's up? This is Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to be talking about counter hitting. We all know the typical you dash me, I guard your dash, and then air combo right out of my guard. It's great if I don't have chakra and whatnot, and it gets you, it takes damage, and it like gives me enough time to get chakra because it knocks you to the ground. So counter hitting is a little bit more difficult than that, and I think it takes skill personally. Yeah, so it's more in depth than that. But anyway, for now I want to say I did not find this. I'm not saying I found this. Some of you may know, it's just that the majority of people I have played, I have never seen, like... I think I've met only like 1 or 2 people who have used this against me. And I'm normally the one who uses it. And I love using this trick because if I have no chakra, it's just a great fallback. And it catches people every time. I mean, there's no chance that you will not fall for this. But there are countermeasures that you can do, and we'll get to that by the end of the video. So we all know that when an opponent dashes your guard, they are stunned for a little bit. And you know that you can't hit them because if your guard gets dashed, you can't move for a little bit. And like if you try and hit them, the hit's not fast enough, it doesn't reach far enough, and you can't move fast enough to walk up to them and hit them. So there are ways to get around this. First of all, I'd like to point out that if your opponent dashes you from a really high place, you can hit B right at a guard immediately and they can't block it, but it's only when they're really high up, and I'm showing a clip right now to show you. And that's interesting because it shows that depending on the angle you dash them from, the vertical angle, how you can move and the stun times for everything change. So anyway, it's similar to counter dashing. The trick is to jump up and hold guard. And you have to do it quickly though. You have to make sure that as soon as their dash hits, you're barely off of the ground. And when you do this, both the characters will fall, and you'll fall too. And when you hit the ground, you're actually able to move. This cancels the stun time that happens when someone dashes your guard, because you were in the air and that stun time plays out, but when you get to the ground, the game resets. So once it resets, you're able to hit them. Now, even though your stun time is reset, their stun time is still carried out. So you can do whatever you want, and they are still stunned by the dash, because they dashed your guard. So there's a lot of things you can do from here, but the general and the easy one that wastes absolutely no chakra is to hit them, because again, it wastes no chakra. So if you're really low on chakra, this is great, because you don't need to use it, and if your opponent dashes you, you can punish them. It's a great way to make them afraid to dash you and all that stuff. So now you're saying, oh, that's OP, you can't do anything about it. Yes, it's annoying, it's cheap, I don't care, I'm still going to use it either way, because honestly I think it takes skill. But there are ways around it. So one of those would be the counter. If you dash me and then counter, the stun time gets cancelled, and you can immediately counter after you dash my guard. And then I'll get punished for trying to hit you. So there's that. You can also call in supports, like just as you dash me, so that if I try and do anything, I'll get punished because the support will be there to back you up. And you can team switch at the right time to punish me for trying as well, and you'll see that too. I'd like to point out that you can do this with almost every character. There are very few characters that cannot do this. It's because their hits are too slow. But I've tried it with, and you'll see a bunch of them on the screen. I've tried it with a bunch of characters. It works overall for almost every character. You'll see that this trick works whether they dash from the ground or from the air. Although, depending on the character, it's generally better if they're going to air dash you. And generally in style gameplay, people do air dash a lot, so you don't need to worry about it. But when they ground dash, you can only use this trick with certain characters because it requires more speed on the first hit. Minato being the best of them, next to Haku, of course, who has the fastest hit. But, yeah. So, my opinion on this is it cheap? Yeah, I think it's like the counter dash. But I'm okay with the counter dash. I get that you don't like that you can't dash me, but I do want something to defend myself. And if I don't have chakra, I can't do anything. So, for the most part, I use that to get away from my opponent for a little bit. Same thing with the counter. I use the counter a lot to space out and get chakra back. So I'm going to use this regardless of what everyone else thinks, because I think it's useful. I think it takes skill. It's not easy. You can try it yourself. You have to train yourself in matches, like just experience Just keep trying it, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. But yeah. Anyway, let me guys know what you think in the comments. That's it for this video, and bye.